We're almost there, folks.
I'm Gloria Westhoff. On this edition of KCAT News, we've got the latest news on the sum of MHS elite singers.
I'm Aislinn Berry. We'll also bring you stories about Prom, our baseball team, and events that we've been keeping an eye on this year.
It's our second to last episode. It's KCAT News, and it begins right now.
Hi, Danny Cooper. Danny Cooper.
Our first story is about that special event that only comes once a year.
It's the Prom. From our 21st Century Journalism class, here's Trinity McCabe and Maddie Murray and Thomas Rail with this report.
This year's April 12, 2025 prom is at Mulvane High School just for our juniors and seniors at MHS. The candidates are Brady Nelson, Dylan Mao, Nolan Beverly, and Kean Palmer. The Queen candidates are Michaela Warner, Kira King, Courtney Schaefer, Reese Laser. The sponsor was Dana Bartle and Christina Gano.
I am most excited to see how well kids clean up. It's so fun to get to see them in a different light when they show up for that dance.
The Commons was designed with black cloth tables for the attendees to sit at, as well as fairy lights, streamers, and candles around the Commons and courtyard. The Commons had food and fun drinks for our prom participants. Eventual prom king Kean Palmer is excited to tell you what he's going to do at prom.
I'm gonna do dance. I'm excited for prom.
Here there are benches and chairs for people going to watch the walk-in later in the evening. On the drive, people line up excited to see the prom attendees and candidates walk in with their stunning dresses and suits. Here, the students going to the prom show up with a variety of unique vehicles. The gentlemen help their dates out of the car. They are stopped to take pictures with them and walk up while everyone is excited for them.
Because I'm pretty positive all around and kind to a lot of people.
The King candidate that won this year's 2025 MHS prom went to Kean Palmer. The 2025 prom queen candidate went to Kiki Warner.
Thank you. It's time to check out our spring sports roundup.
Here's Caroline Jacobs with our sports report. Caroline?
Welcome to your spring sports update. I'm Caroline Jacobs. After being delayed for several weeks, our track team finally held their home meet. On the boys' side, in the throwing events, Rocky Hershey won first shot put while KJ Shantz won discus. In the running events, Jacob Wilson took the top spot in the 800 meter along with Tavion Richardson in the 100 hurdles. A trio of relays, the 4x1, 4x4, and the 4x800 meters all took the top prize. On the girls' side, in the field events, Keely Burke took the gold along with Emma Jacobs in the javelin. On the track, Halen Jones won in 300 hurdles, Cece Gafuri won the 800 meter, while Sierra Smits won both the 100 and 200 meter race. The baseball team slipped their doubleheader on Monday, winning 8-2 against Wellington in Game 1 and dropping the second 4-7. Nolan Beverly cruised to the victory, throwing 9 strikeouts and 6 2/3 innings. They are now 13-4 on the season. Softball evened the record to 9-9 after a pair of wins against Wellington. On Monday, Sophie Bruce hurled a 3-hit complete game shutout in Game 1. In Game 2, the Wildcats had to come back in the 7th to notch the victory. Bailey Hall had 2 hits and drove in an RBI, also getting the only extra base hit in the 6-5 win. The girls' soccer team dominated collegiate last week, winning 8-0. Brittany Peschel led the way, scoring all 5 of her goals in the first half. The win elevates the record to 6-4. Rounding out our sports is our golf team. They took 7th place at the Arc City Invitational. Leading the pack was Brecken Downs in 4th, shooting an 82. They will next be in action at the Cheney Invitational next Tuesday. This has been your Wildcat Sports. I'm Caroline Jacobs. Back to the studio.
Thanks for that look at sports. There's a hot new group at school which is growing in popularity.
KCAT's Truman Hall has us look into the Tabletop Gaming Club. Truman?
Tabletop Gaming is a club that plays RPGs that don't necessarily need a screen, but it's still fun nevertheless. For more information, we talked to some of the members. Here are their thoughts.
So I'd say it's mostly D&D, which we all gather.
To me, it's just a fun thing. I get to spend time with my friends, be creative, let my world building aspect of my personality really let loose, and just have fun.
Favorite campaign has honestly got to be this one that I'm doing, which is my first campaign that I've ever run, which I'm running it with my friend, and it's going pretty good so far, and I'm really excited to continue it.
Well, so far I've only been in a few, but my favorite was probably, it's called Icewind Dale, where we were trying to stop an evil ice witch.
The current campaign is a story about these travelers who were flung into the Greek mythology, and they're traveling to try and stop Zeus. And so they're going through all of the different gods and everything, killing them and everything, which is...
We are currently running Curse of Strahd, where an evil vampire has taken over a town.
Well, there you have it. If you want to join, ask Mr. Mitchell, the club's founder, and also tell your parents about it and ask them to sign you up. Well, that's all for this segment. From KCAT News, this is Truman Hall. Now, where's that darn fourth Chaos Emerald? A little teaser for a future segment.
Thanks, Truman. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Amy's Pizza Place on 104 West Main Street, the only family-owned pizzeria in Mulvane. We offer appetizers, pastas, pizza, and sandwiches. There are daily lunch and price specials with many size options. Our menu is vast with great customer service. We make our food fresh and hot in a 450-degree oven. Here at Amy's, we take pride in the meals we prepare. Our main goal is your satisfaction. So what are you doing? Come down to Amy's, the place to go get pizza for you, sandwiches, salads, and pastas too.
Welcome back. Our baseball team is on a tear this season. A big part of that is due to in part to a trio of top talent.
KCAT's Colton Bowerly has this look in the Wildcats' success.
With baseball kicking off, the Wildcats have high expectations. The Wildcats season opener is on March 21st in a tournament game against the Maize Eagles. The Wildcats have a very talented bullpen. The team standouts consist of junior Grace Sanders, who is a star pitcher for the Cats. Sanders has drawn many heads from colleges across the country, as well as being in the top 10 players in Kansas in 2024, ranked at number 7.
Right now I'm talking to Mizzou, Nebraska, WSU, University of Alabama, Birmingham. I got an offer from Cali a couple months ago, Johnson County, Barton.
The Wildcats are also home to prospect Parker Clubb, who is ranked 6th overall in Kansas. Clubb had many colleges with much interest from around the country, but Clubb ended up committing to Louisville to play catcher and relief pitcher.
So going to college, play at University of Louisville, and then just letting kind of just fate play out after that. I mean, obviously the goal is to get to the big leagues, so that's the main goal.
The Cats are also very gifted when it comes to coaching staff with head coach Steve Nelson.
Mainly just playing, and then I coached JV for 4 or 5 years, and then moved up and was the varsity assistant for about 8 or 9 years, and then I've been the head coach now for 7.
Thanks, Colton. Now on to another group at Mulvane that's excelling.
Recently, our music program traveled to State Festival. Here is another story from our 21st Century Journalism class about how choir did.
It's presented by Logan Jensen and Lucia Hernandez. Take it away.
Mulvane High School Choir is hitting all the right notes while they prepare for State KCAT Large Ensemble Festival.
I love festival because it's a chance to get feedback from experts in the field or experts in the choir field. Sometimes they say the same things that I'm saying in class, and sometimes they say things that I've never said before or that I've never noticed before. And it's always really interesting to see the kids' reaction to that feedback.
All 3 choirs will be participating on Thursday, April 10th, and after all their hard work, they will get to miss school as they travel to Arkansas City High School. At the event, they will perform the songs they prepared and get critiqued by the judges.
I love watching the growth that they have to go through between January to now, because they're working on music that's the hardest music that they've worked on before.
In preparation, each of the choirs learns 2 songs which they will perform for 3 judges. They start class with vocal exercises to warm up their voices. Once they are warmed up, they focus more on each of the parts. Periodically, they split apart to focus more intensely on each part. Occasionally, they will meet at other hours of the day to hold rehearsals as a full group.
Not having our tenors and basses in our class, because it's really hard to do tenor, bass, alto, soprano songs when you have no tenors and basses in your class. And so when we do like group rehearsals where we're all together, it's a lot easier. But when we're just by ourselves, it's a little more difficult.
There will be 2 groups performing, a treble choir and a choral union. The treble choir will be formed by students in the treble choir class, while the choral union will be composed of students in esprit de corps and tenor bass choir. For KCAT News, I'm Logan Jensen.
Late last year, Sega released the Sonic Generations.
KCAT's Truman Hall had a chance to play the game and has this review.
Sonic X Shadow Generations is a remaster of Sega's hit game from 2011. The remaster features both the original Sonic campaign, with a brand new script by the amazing Ian Flynn from the Archie comics, and a new exclusive story mode that features the ultimate life form himself. But do these changes make the game better? Well, the short answer is yes. And then we have the main event, which is Shadow Generations, the brand new campaign featuring Shadow the Hedgehog, once again facing his past head-on. The story takes place at the same time as Sonic Generations. It begins with Shadow on the Space Colony Ark, chasing a mysteriously familiar intruder, when suddenly all space and time was put into turmoil, teleporting Shadow into white space. Here, he has to navigate familiar places from the present, like Radical Highway, Whale Canyon, and Kingdom Valley, and the future, like Chaos Island and Sunset Heights. He must also face fierce bosses he defeated before, like the Bio-Lizard, Metal Overlord, and Mephiles. The gameplay is amazing. It's as fun as the Sonic campaign, maybe even more fun. And the Doom powers add to that fun factor. There's the Doom Spears, which is just a Chaos Spear times 5, the Doom Blast, which is a multi-hitting combo, Doom Morph, which allows you to traverse poisonous areas, Doom Surf, which allows you to traverse areas with water, and Doom Wing, which is the super form of this mode. I'm trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible so that you can play it for yourself, but the story is incredible and has the best final boss I've ever seen in a while in a Sonic game, next to Frontiers, and way much better than the Time Eater. But overall, yeah, this is totally worth your time, so be sure to check it out for yourself. My rating for this game is a 10 out of 10, and it's well deserved. And with that being said, for KCAT News, this is Truman Hall signing off for now.
April is designated as the month of the military child, a time to recognize the sacrifices and contributions of children who are part of military families.
KCAT's Rebecca Hires went around school and interviewed students about what it means to be part of a military family and has this.
I only really stayed here. That's about it.
He's in the Army National Guard and he's a recruiter, so I haven't gone anywhere. However, he's been to Kuwait, he's been all around the U.S. as well for camps and trainings of sorts. So he's been places, however, I haven't.
We've been to Florida, we've been to Texas, Michigan. He got deployed to Afghanistan. I wasn't able to go to that. But yeah, I think that's about it. I haven't traveled too much. We've been to Italy when I was a child. Yeah, I think that's about it.
I have been to North Dakota. I've also been to New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, a good portion of the U.S.
I have been to Utah, Idaho, a little bit in California, a little bit in Florida, a little bit basically all over the country.
The first place I can remember being in was Seattle, Washington, so I've been pretty far up there. I've also been to Colorado, as well as Ohio, where I came from recently, and then now I moved here to Kansas. So this is my fourth place I've been to.
Like Florida, Iowa, and like just anywhere on like the East Coast.
Nowhere. We stayed in Kansas the entire time.
I have gone to Arizona for a training camp, and then I've just stayed in Kansas the rest of my life.
I've gone to Mexico and yeah, just Mexico.
My dad's house is a lot more cleaner than my mom's because she's not really in the military, but he is. And my stepmom's also military, so it's even more cleaner. They don't really like dirty floors a lot, so I guess that has to change. And everything has to be kind of neat around the house, so if it's not, then everything has to change.
So, I mean, a lot of my family members have been in the military, so it's been something that I've been really like involved with my life. A big thing with it has been my family's not from Kansas, so being in a small town like Mulvane, it's like family centralized, so you have big families in Mulvane. However, my family is not from here. So something that's shaped it has been like me and my brother making our name, the last name Wilson, which is not common here. It's more sort of a name that's known through what we do and how we do it.
Well, he's definitely more strict than I would say the normal dad is. He pushes me to achieve all of my goals in anything that I do, and he never gave up on me. He always pushed me to my hardest. So, I mean, I feel like having that structure, it helped me to become the person that I am today.
I've been able to quickly adapt to certain things, like I guess I've become more social, and I've been able to create relationships quicker, and I've also been able to cope with things in a better light.
Well, it kind of sucks that you have to move, because then that ruins your education and friendships. But also, hopefully those states have better benefits than other states. How about that?
Well, I feel like I've learned to like connect myself with a lot of different people. Like I don't have a set branch. Like I'm not scared to like move to different, like talk to different types of people. Like I've met a lot of different people from different cultures and classes. So like I can have experiences with a lot of different people from different backgrounds. So I think I like to say that that helped me incorporate how I interact with different people.
I don't know, just got to learn like cool stuff about the Air Force.
It's been a little hard when he had to go to training, but otherwise I'd say it's pretty much the same as everyone else.
It's been good. He doesn't leave that often. We usually maybe every 2 years, if that.
I don't know, like I've just been more prone to like military things. Like I get to go to the Legion whenever I want and hear stories from those kind of people all over the world, and I get to go on base with my parents whenever they need me there for something, and I get to see how they do things around there, so it's just a first-hand experience.
Probably, yeah. I think I don't know. I wouldn't have all like the stuff I do, because I do a lot of volunteer at the Legion next to the grade school. I wouldn't have all that because you have to be a military member to be in there. I wouldn't have like the volunteer stuff and met all those people without it. So I guess I wouldn't have been, I don't know.
I think my personality is quite vibrant, so I'm sure even if I wasn't a military child, I'd have more sort of a personality that isn't geared towards what the common Kansas person's personality is. However, I would say the influence of my mom and my family not being from a very conservative part of the world, of the United States, does give a little bit of contribution to the fact that I'm not, as what people would say, conservative, and I'm more understanding and objective in things. And my view, I would say, comes from my mom's point of view.
100%. I feel like if I didn't have the structure that he gave me, I feel like I would not achieve as much as I would. Like I would feel like I wouldn't have as many dreams or hopes to become the person that I've always wanted to become. I really feel like I would be somebody completely different without that.
I think I would have been a little bit less, I guess, aware of everything, and a little bit less patient with certain things.
Probably. Because then I won't have to like think about, oh, I'll have to move again and I'm going to have to restart my entire experience.
I think so. I just feel like I would have like probably less manners, or just like I wouldn't have a lot of education when it comes to like traveling or like talking to like different people. I'd probably end up sticking in that one place and not wanting to branch out. But since I've been to different places, you know, it kind of excites me moving other different places, meeting new people. So I think I would have been a lot different. So I'm glad I shaped out this way.
Maybe, kinda. I don't know.
No, I don't, because I do get to still spend a lot of time with him because he's home on the weekends and stuff.
Probably not, I'd say. I mean, not really. It doesn't like affect me too much. I just go to the dinner sometimes.
Most definitely. Like, it has definitely put me on a more set schedule than I feel like I would if I wasn't. So I appreciate it though.
That will do it for us. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
We'll leave you with a video from our TikTok account, KCAT MHS.
Here's Caroline Jacobs with her interview with students about our mascot. I'm Aislinn Berry.
And I'm Gloria Westoff.
Thanks for watching KCAT News. Nice.
Yes.
Let's go. I'm done.
Hey Wildcats, I'm Caroline Jacobs, and today I asked students if they could change our school mascot, what would they change it to? Okay, who am I here with? Lucy Swart. What grade are you in? Freshman. If you could change our school mascot, what would you change it to? A unicorn. Okay, who am I here with?
Mr. Swearingen, head principal at Mulvane High School, home of the Wildcats.
If you could change our school mascot, what would you change it to?
I wouldn't change the mascot. I love the Wildcats. The one thing that I would change, though, is I would modernize the mascot itself. I'd keep it the Wildcat, but come up with a different design.
Perfect.
All right, thanks.
Okay, who am I here with?
Brody Klassen.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
If you could change our school mascot, what would you change it to?
I'd say probably a lion.
All right. Okay, who am I here with? Ashlyn. What grade are you in? I'm a sophomore. If you could change our school mascot, what would you change it to? I would change it to just a regular cat. Period.